All right, we're on chapter 23, and I don't know why. I don't know if this happens to you when you're, excuse me, reading or watching a movie, and you're not feeling it. I don't know, you're just weird day or whatever. For me, when I read this chapter, we're just gonna get back from vacation. It was a really, really busy day. I love vacation, but the whole return trip and unpacking and everything is very tiring. So when I read this chapter, I just was like, man, I was tired. So that is probably going to color my thoughts on this chapter a little bit. Um, Basically, not much happened in this chapter. This chapter probably could just be entirely eliminated. It was well written. It was you kind of keep seeing how Paul is moving more towards thinking like the chosen one. I'm gonna say, he's bigger thoughts. um, needs to get things moving. But this chapter pretty much is, I mean, just to summarize, him and Jessica are hiding out in a still tent in the desert. So this is like a still tent is a tent that can survive in the desert on Arrakis apparently. And a big storm came through, and I guess it buried the whole tent. And I'm not sure how the thing didn't collapse in on itself. I don't know. I think that annoyed me a little bit because I wasn't able to quite understand how that happened. But anyway, him and Jessica are going to have to undig themselves from inside this tent, then out of the sand. But most of the chapter is Paul musing about how he's going to need desert power on Caladan, his old planet. They had like sea power, water power, something like that. But now they need desert power, which means, of course, they're going to have to team up with the Fremen. So Paul is focused on trying to do that. And Jessica's continuing to think about like, oh, wow, Paul's becoming more of a man, and kind of just like this whole power dynamic of him being, the super boss, and her kind of just going along with it, where I think it was much more reverse earlier, sort of more the parental oversight to a kid. Now it's the kid's in charge. So I don't know. Again, I think it was just because it was such a big shift here, going into book 2 of book 1, that I'm still adjusting. It really feels like I'm in a different book now. I don't hate it. It's just, it just, I'm having, I guess I'm getting ready for them to move into a little bit more plot elements. I think I got the gist of how Paul's feeling at this point. But again, this chapter and another day I might have really liked. I think I was in a mood because I was just so like in practical mode. I need to get this done. I need to get this done. I need to get this done. When I read a chapter that was much more people reflecting and so forth, I was like, just get going. Go find the Fremen and do your thing, Paul. We'll get it figured out. So very unempathetic of me, just where I was at that moment in time. So anyway, we'll see how things go. The chapter ends with them, going into the desert. So I think the next one I'll probably actually run into some Fremen, and maybe we'll get a few things moving along. So again, not bad. I think I just didn't care for this chapter as much because I probably should have read it when I was in kind of a less of a rush. Anyway, what did you think of this chapter? What did you think of Dune? Was it sort of on and off for you in any places? Because again, this book is full of action and suspense, but also full of a lot of is rumination a word? I think so. People just thinking through things. Both of those things I love. Just the flip flopping back and forth. I don't know. I'm in more action mode right now, so maybe the book will get back into that soon. Anyway, curious your thoughts. Get another one out here soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.